Kako. This is Kahu Kenneth Makuakane. I'm here with Dr. Claire Asam, the Claire Asam. And she is the trustee, one of the trustees for Liliuokalani Trust. And I brought her in today because we are celebrating Ali Sunday for Lili. What does that mean for you? I mean, you've been involved with this trust for many years.
Ali'i Sunday is always special for me, Kahu Ken. You know, the Queen is many things to many people. She loved her God. She loved Kawaiahao Church. And I think of her here as a choir director, as a member, and someone who really, I think, got a lot of comfort and inspiration from Keakua and being in this place. So it's always wonderful as we get ready for her birthday tomorrow to come to Kawaiahao Church and celebrate Ali'i Sunday. So I've been involved with the trust for about 25 years, and for 24 of them came to Ali'i Sunday. I missed the first one. Yeah, we're taking our son to college, so thank you. But after that, I've been here, and I love the feeling of Kawaiahao, the embrace of the love of our royal societies who come and join us, your congregation. It's very special.
You know, speaking of that, we'll get back to this trust. Yes, we have our royal societies that come and pay respects to our royalty. How does that impact Liliuokalani Trust? I mean, just as a singular entity with the Queen, because a lot of royal societies pay respects to the various monarchs throughout these years. Because I want to hear you. You know, we hear about the Queen, but you're the living, you and I, we're a living essence of that history and we're products of that history. How does that speak to you?
Well, I think for me, I think the royal societies honor the Ali'i, and sometimes I guess in our work, we think she's our queen. She's everyone's queen. She's Hawaii's queen. And many people love her, respect her. And isn't that wonderful? She doesn't have to just be ours. She is the nation's queen. And it's wonderful that they remember all of her wonderful legacy and the things that she's left for us. She has her music, she has her books, the Queen's story, the Queen's diary, so we can get in and read her words and just learn more about her and feel her heart, I think, in those words.
In that honorable century of doing the Queen's work, the trust has moved to several locations and it's expanded its operation to serve the children. And now you folks in currently have where?
We call it Liliuokalani Center.
Okay.
It was the former Honolulu Club,
Okay.
and it's undergoing massive renovation. We're set to open in about May or June of 2025, so right around the corner.
That's a huge facility.
We're excited. It's what we're calling our Youth Development Center. We have many activities, programs in there for our kamali'i to basically explore and to spread their wings. So we're going to have culinary, we're going to have recording studios for our musicians, makers spaces, video production, black box theater, sports courts for volleyball, basketball, you name it. We won't have swimming there because we filled in the swimming pool, but all of these things to excite our young people and have them find their passions and their pathways and encourage them to explore things that perhaps they haven't explored and keep them on a path to hopefully a good journey so that they'll pursue education, pursue further training, so that they can become contributing members of the Lahui.
You know, when I did the blessing for you folks up here on Alakia, what's that house called?
Lydia House.
The Lydia House.
Lydia House.
What I found out was that you impact not just Native Hawaiian kids, but the Lahui. I was surprised in a wonderful way to know that it's not only meant for, because the Queen was the Queen.
Our preference is still for Hawaiian children and their families, but Lydia House is an interesting and wonderful example. So Lydia House is a new place, a safe place for our aged out foster kids. And it's kids who are probably between the ages of 16 and 26. And unfortunately, there are many Hawaiian children in foster care. When they turn 18, they're called aged out of foster care. So they're no longer living with the family. They're basically on their own. And our research, when our researchers shared that information with us, we were shocked. We were really saddened to hear that statistic. And many, many Hawaiian children are in that category. And so what we did was we were only serving kids up to age 18 is what our court appointed master set as our age of helping kids 0 to 18. So we went back to the probate court and asked them to extend the age of majority to 26 so we could help those kids who've aged out of foster care. And so we bought a building, refurbished it. It has a welcome engagement center on the bottom. Its doors are open, and we do have, people from the street. Primarily, we're looking for young people off the street, but they come in our doors and they're not necessarily Hawaiian. You're right. Many are, but we have some that aren't. But we offer snacks, we offer laundry, a place to charge their cell phone. And for our Hawaiian beneficiaries who come in the door, we try to provide a little more services. So to see if they need additional counseling and support. We also have a residential section now that we've just opened in the past couple months that has, I believe, about 20 or 24 units for some of these young people to stay. But again, in order to access the apartments, we are looking for our Hawaiian beneficiaries. And we're looking for our beneficiaries that really make a commitment to working on their goals. Because this is not a long-term care solution, right? We want to help them. We want to help them get on their feet. And then they need to fly.
And I love that because what I also saw was you had a small room that had clothes in it.
Yes.
What's that for?
Our kamali'i who come off the street usually have, one set of clothes or maybe another set in their backpack. They need clothes. And so we encourage people when you're cleaning out your closet, as my husband often does. I take clean clothes down there and they put it in the closet for the young people. And we had a call out. They needed some new socks. One of the things that was really needed was socks. And I thought, oh my goodness, they don't want your old socks. And so I went to Ross's and found socks and, put them in a bag. And so they're really happy to have donations of clothes, socks, clean socks, new socks, and other things.
Even the clothes, I think one of the women that were there told me that they even put you in a business suit because they help you to do a resume or something for jobs.
Yes, absolutely. Depending on what their goals are, right? If they want to go back to school, we try to help them find scholarship. If they want to work, we have attire that they can wear for an interview. We help them put their resume together, practice.
We can practice.
You think about all the things a family would do. You think about your kids, right? As they're growing up, you help them get ready, learn how to do laundry, learn how to do your accounting, your finances, learn how to be independent. Well, many of these kamali'i, unfortunately, have not had those nurturing parents or the guidance needed. And so it's never too late to get guidance, especially if you're open to it. And so that's one of the things that trust does.
It's so incredible to hear that the trust expanded the age limit, and also not just say we care and create kiddie programs, but they create really necessary programs to allow an individual to become a viable part of the community.
That's our goal. Our vision is thriving kamali'i. And in order to thrive,
Not just survive, right?
right, so many things need to be in place. And so we're fortunate that the Queen left us her lands, and her lands basically generate income. We do have had sales of her lands. And again, the Queen was a smart businesswoman. She, in her lifetime, managed her lands. And she collected lease rent. And we have letters where she would say, hey, they're going to put a railroad through my property. You get that, on paper, and I want some resources, some money for that. So she was active in her knowledge of her lands and realized that it's a source of revenue. It helps feed basically the work that we do. It helps us we give those services. All the services we talked about are for free. People come in the door, they get their snack, they get the clothes, they get the counseling. It's free. We don't charge for anything. Now, for the residents, I think they're working on some kind of rent. It'll be very minimal rent, but again, it's trying to get people of the mindset that not a freebie. You've got to be participating in this, because in a couple of years you're going to be renting and it's not going to be free. So how do you manage, get a job? How do you manage your resources so that you can write that rent check?
So I know that this is a Hai'aina thing, so we're talking about Honolulu centric. The other facilities,
we're on most of the islands with facilities, or call them kipuka, offices or locations on all of the islands. And so in those locations, we have dedicated staff who are there to have people walk in or call for services or participate in programs. Because at each of those locations, we have programs for kids. So we have programs for the little ones. We have early childhood programs that we're just starting to expand and work with other partners on providing. We have what we call youth development program for our youth who are elementary age through high school. And that's a real variety. We had a really neat one in Waimanalo over the summer where the kids built steel guitars out of reclaimed wood. Amazing.
Some years ago, my sister was working for years at the Hawaii Volcano National Park. And so she called me to see if I would do a program, and your trust helped fund it, ukulele parts, and all the kids down in Kahu area, Kahu and Puna, were able to come to our Kahuku unit down at Kahu, and were taught how to build an old ukulele in a short amount of time. And then we taught them how to do chords, and we sang songs with them. And then we set up a teacher within the community that would do like weekly lessons for them. So what happens then? They don't only learn the ukulele, but they feel the ownership of it, which gives value to something that they've done all by themselves.
Special.
So I see where you're coming from, and it's and that's why I was asking you, how does Liliu's legacy impact you? Because her legacy impacts me. I'm not a kid, but I still get impacted by it because that trust allows our children, whether they're Hawaiian, easier for a child as they grow to start to.
Oh, that is our hope and dream, is that we can put our arms around these children and find their passions and help them heal from the traumas that they have experienced in their lives and help them move on in a good way. Let's face it, Ken, you and I are the kupuna generation, or soon to be, or maybe in it already. And we need these young people to come along. And as Auntie Malia said, get a grip, because they need to carry us into the future, right? It's their future that we're hoping to get them prepared for, but hopefully they'll take care of us.
Oh, thank you. Well, we've been talking with Dr. Claire Asam from Liliuokalani Trust, and thank you so much for a small, this is just a kuka. We're just speaking about the heart of our queen, because this is her day. This is a remembrance and a celebration of her incredible life. What about your incredible life and how it transferred from her legacy into your legacy, and hopefully some of the kids from the next generation will pick up that baton and help the kids in the future generations.
Aloha.